This is actually a brief little video on what Japanese Baika is. I've been studying it off and on through the Cedar Rapids Zen Center for several years now. I haven't been able to go all the time, and I've missed some trainings when the teachers come from Japan, but I've made one training session a couple years ago, and this month I'll be going for another one. First, I'm just going to read some of the information from my cell phone, sorry, but the PDF that the Zen Center sent out about what it is, because it's just easier. I'm going to tell you a bit about what it is, then I'm going to show you and explain what it is to me. I am not a teacher. I am not formally, I have not trained extremely well. I do not know everything about it. There's a lot I don't know yet about it, so I want to basically let you know it's out there and it's pretty cool, and a little bit what it is so that you can understand. It's actually pretty amazing. It's just different. So, according to the PDF that they sent out about the flyer, Baika is Japanese religious music sung to the accompaniment of small handbells and gongs. It was introduced to the Soto Zen tradition about 60 years ago as a way of including lay participation. Baika music is usually performed before and after a major ceremony, like a funeral, memorial service, or seasonal celebration like Buddha's birthday. The verses are usually a minute or two long. They are hymns to the three treasures, Buddha Shakyamuni, canon, the ancestral teachers, and others. The simple melodies and spirit are taken from traditional Japanese folk culture. Baika is gentle music that flows through our heart and comforts them. And then it talks about a teacher that's come to teach it here in America. Um, I will now, maybe I can get, my asthma's been kicking in a bit and I'm losing my voice, but maybe when I'm done showing you this, I can get a bit of the music on my CD, because we get the music files that we're training with so we can listen to it along with practicing at home. Now, right now, this is the package that has my Baika material in it, and there's a proper way to open it. I believe I'm doing it correctly. I'm still learning. This is the next layer, and I open it up, and now what I've got is, and I'm going to show you the bottom first and then work up. There's a very attractive, apparently this is plum. There's a cloth that's on top of, that actually is taken off this other. Then I have got my music, and I will show you the music itself, but each of these is some of the different songs. This is actually a little music book. It's got Western notation. However, if you want to make sure that you get all of the correct terms, you want to look at the Japanese notation, and I'll get to that in a minute. What we have next is, and it's fallen apart. Mine seems to like to fall apart, I suppose. This is a handbell. Whoops. And then this is a little place that we put the gong on. Oops, okay, here we go. This is the mallet. Now, it took me a year and a half of fairly steady training to finally learn to sing and to start doing this. So it may be very simple music, but if you're not that coordinated like I'm not, it can be a little more than confusing. Now, they have a page here that basically shows. I don't know how many people have seen medieval Gregorian chants in the original script, music script that they used back then. They didn't use the G clef and the bass clef like we're familiar with musically now. They used, it was not much like this, but they used their own type of notation. And this is the Japanese notation, and it tells when the bell needs to be rung, it tells when the gong needs to be struck, it tells us what tone do we trill, do we go up, do we go down. And I actually sometimes I will take my Baika, the little pink book, and I will go ahead and pull out my electronic computer and my metronome, and I'll try to plunk it out on the little electronic piano. But it's pretty cool, especially when you start getting the hang of it. One of the songs we've got the harmony to, and it's sort of neat to be able to sing a tune and have other people do harmony. Now I've got it. I'm going to see if I can play a bit of one of the Bayakas on, well, the Zazen song. It should be just enough. I'm going to try to play a bit, see if you can hear it. Each song starts with a type of sacred introduction saying, this is what we're singing, praises. That basically was Zazen song. And it's really cool to do. I don't know how many places teach it, but they use a different scale than we do. We in the West have our do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Well, in Japan, a lot of their folk traditions use more pentatonic scales where they only use five instead. We've got eight, da 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 da. They do like five. And I don't have handy what the actual scales are because they've got 3 or 4 different scales, but they all only have 5 notes, and the whole song is just based using those, and they've got some interesting intervals. So it's just a little introduction to something that's really neat that's starting to, it uses sound, and it's a sacred way of praising, and it's also fun. Just thought you might want to know.